you been to the Library of Congress? If not, Thursdays are the perfect time to visit. Join them after hours for Live at the Library, where cocktails in the iconic Thomas Jefferson Building meets live music, author talks, crafting, exhibits, and more. Every week is different, free, and inspired by the library's collections. Don't miss their Summer Movies on the Lawn, screenings of pop classics from the National Film Registry, starting July 9th with Clueless. Plan your next night out. Visit loc.gov/live. Today on CityCast DC, happy July. What are you going to do this month? I am here with my CityCast colleagues Bridget Todd and Kaela Cote-Stemmermann to talk about the best of eating, drinking, and exploring in July, especially the part of it that comes after Independence Day. It's Wednesday, July 1st. I'm Michael Schaffer. Here's what DC is talking about. And this July guide is brought to you by the Library of Congress. In July, the library begins its free outdoor film series, Summer Movies on the Lawn, part of Live at the Library. Films include Clueless, A League of Their Own, Rocky, and Back to the Future. Films were selected from the National Film Registry, part of the library's America 250 celebrations. Thanks so much to the Library of Congress. Hey, Kaela.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Bridget.
Hey, Mike.
So it is our July guide right now. I know we're talking a few days before the 4th of July. It's hard to see beyond the 4th of July, but I can't wait to see beyond the 4th of July.
I know. I'm excited to honestly get the heat and the chaos over with and be on our way to the rest of DC summer.
Do you all like 4th of July? Is it a holiday that you have historically enjoyed?
Okay, well, I will caveat this by saying it is my birthday, so I do enjoy it. Well, most of the time. I do enjoy it most of the time, although I am always pigeonholed into hosting a July 4th party. Like, my birthday party always has to be a July 4th, like, cookout. You know, like, that's the only thing. Because you can't just, like, have a birthday party on the 4th of July because everybody's partying all day and, can't party that much. I like it. Although I will say it maybe is not ideal birthday day, but
I usually love the 4th of July. It's day off. It's like a holiday that's hard to materialize. You could serve fancy food, I guess, but you'd look kind of like an idiot. There's some simplicity there. And it's about like the celebrations such as they are about like doing stuff with your family and your friends. And that all seems good. This year is obviously a different kind of 4th of July, at least if you're staying in DC.
What about you, Bridget?
It's funny because I feel like a lot of Black folks, we have complicated feelings about the 4th, but y'all, I'm a sucker for fireworks, especially what I sometimes lovingly call kind of hood fireworks, the fireworks that you're like, well, that is not a sanctioned firework display. I live in a neighborhood where it's a very festive neighborhood, and the fireworks are no different. So, yeah, I am a little bit of a sucker for the fireworks.
What to the Bridget Todd is the 4th of July?
Exactly. I know exactly the essay that you're referencing. Yes.
All right. So why don't we consider this like a monthly guide to the 5th of July and beyond?
All right. That's easy.
Works for me.
And for people who don't usually listen to these, CityCast is podcast and newsletter company and now news organization focused on Washington, D.C. We try to connect you with your city. And one way to do it is by getting out there and doing things. And we're going to hopefully give you some good advice about what to do. So, Kaela, you are our events guru. What's on the July calendar that's exciting to you?
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on. I think, personally, I'm kind of trying to get out of the festival atmosphere, honestly. Like, I went to the state fair, had a horrible time. I don't want to do that anymore. The 4th of July is over. Like, let's get out of here. I'm really excited. The library is having their first punk rooftop show on July 8th. It's going to be Bedmaker, Buko Buko, and Pink House, which are all local, like, small DC punk bands. And I'm going to be honest, I only know of Pink House out of those three. And they're good. But it doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't even matter who's playing. It's always just like the most incredible vibe. It's so fun. It's at the MLK Library. There's always just like a great local crowd, and everybody is there, obviously, to support local music, but also just to like enjoy DC summer in a really beautiful, like low-key, free way that just brings out the best people. I love it. I go every year, and I'm really excited. They usually do like several throughout the summer, and doors open at 6 p.m., starts at 6:30. Definitely get there a little bit early if you care about getting, a good spot, and it's rain or shine on the rooftop. Yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I don't know, have you guys ever been to one of these? They're really fun.
I have been, and I cannot stress enough how fun they are. The time that I went, I'll be honest and say I did not know any of the lineup. I did not know a single act, but it's so fun. The space is so cool. It's just also cool to be on top of the rooftop of the library. Yeah.
No, yeah, every time I go, I'm just like, I can't believe we have such a gorgeous public free space to be in. And I'm always like, oh, I got to come here when it's not so crowded, but I never do. But it is just like always blows me away.
It's kind of amazing how much they've fixed it up.
Like it really
it's
is gorgeous.
Famously, it's the only Mies van der Rohe building in DC. And like up until they closed it for a year for renovations and really reinvented it, I would have said like, Mies kind of phoned this one in, right? But it's really cool. They've made it sort of a place where there's spectacle and interactivity and, room for performance and room for parties and room for just like sitting there and enjoying yourself while you read. And that rooftop space is super cool. Plus, it's got a really good view.
It does. And there's even like a cafeteria, like restaurant in the first floor that you can grab some food at. So yeah, that's what I'll be up to. What about you guys? Bridget?
Well, I know that you said that you were burnt out on festivals, but I will add a little bit of an offbeat festival to just for your consideration as our events guru. I'm not sure if it's pronounced occipital or occipital. If anyone knows, write in and let me know. But it's this fashion festival happening at Rhizome out on Maple Street Northwest in Tacoma. It just looks really awesome. It's happening on July 25th. Basically, it's an eclectic fashion festival where all these local bands are going to be modeling clothing made by local fashion designers. It's kind of a creative collaboration where it's also going to be music performances, workshops, a clothing swap, a workshop on sustainability. This is their tagline: always interactive and experimental. Occipital encourages inspiration and audience engagement. And I just feel like it just sounded really, I have no idea what to expect, but it just sounded really offbeat and the kind of thing that I think that folks might be surprised that DC offers. They've done it. This is the third annual version of it. So it has to be pretty good if they're bringing it back.
Yeah. First of all, I love the Rhizome. Such a fun venue. Second of all, I feel like this is like not the first time I've heard of this sort of local fashion plus local music collab thing. This seems to be kind of like a thing right now. Like a lot of local bands are using local like artists and makers to do like their merch or to like help sort of promote their brands. There's another concert going on at Songbird on July 1st, which is today, by Sable Jane, who's like a singer-songwriter, and she's doing a collab with a local fashion designer to do like some really awesome like merch as a pop-up. And I don't know, I love that idea. I like merch as much as the next person, but having it be homemade and local, it's just much more appealing. I would much rather spend money on that than, some like mass-produced thing. So I think that's so cool, Bridget, and I will absolutely add it to my list.
Yeah, some of the fashions and designers that are going to be there, it's things like Lost Destination. And you're thinking, what is Lost Destination? Well, they make over-embellished gothic costumes. Tell me you don't want to know what that looks like in person.
I don't know what it is, but I want it.
What about you, Mike?
You guys ever go to the Museum of African Art on the mall?
I have.
Yeah.
So, even if you're a Philistine who doesn't like art one bit, you're walking along the south side of the mall and it's like 110 degrees and there's an elevator and you go down, and it's dark and it's cool. But right now at the National Museum of African Art, there's this LGBT African art exhibit. When the Trump administration came in, there was some doubt about whether this thing would happen. It eventually did. And I, just sort of in the spirit of like encouraging the Smithsonian's freak flag and or seeing stuff that you might not get to see again, I think that's a thing we should all add to our calendars. It's here all month, actually through the middle of August.
Yeah, I remember when Trump first started attacking the art scene in DC and really decimating it. You and I, Mike, had a conversation about how important it was to support the, institutions here in DC that were doing the kind of art that was under attack that you might not get to see. Like, I think we had a conversation where it was like, how long will we be able to see interesting, art that lifts up traditionally underrepresented identities and voices? So I like that you're continuing to bring that spirit here, however many months later since we had that conversation.
I mean, the thing of museums is they book a long, long, long way in advance. So, you're still seeing the end of stuff that was booked beforehand, and we'll see what it looks like. And I have a feeling with the 4th of July over, and the Kennedy Center's, the sort of leveling done, that the Smithsonian is going to be our next flashpoint. It's going to be just an enormous story. So sorry to be a downer. We always talk about things you do every year in this month. Is there a July kind of not tied to a specific event, but a July tip you got for us, Bridget?
Yeah, it kind of dovetails nicely with what you were just talking about. And I'm sure you all know this, but it's just sort of a general reminder that a lot of the museums and cultural institutions in DC for summer have extended hours, nighttime hours, sleepovers, all these kinds of fun offbeat offerings. For instance, I did not know this. The Botanical Garden stays open late on different summer nights, and they have music and drinks and ice cream, and the gardens are then lit by this beautiful golden hour light. There's one coming up on July 16th.
Oh, I love that. That's like my one qualm is it closes so early, especially in summertime. You can't even stay past, until sunset. So I would go to that. Let's go to that, Bridget. A little picnic.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. Mine is admittedly not really something you can do every July, but it does run throughout the month. And it is, once again, the World Cup, and specifically the finals, which are on July 19th. And we have a whole list on our website of where to watch the World Cup, where to celebrate, watch parties, etc. But specifically, I think I'm going to be watching at the Wharf. They have like this whole soccer fan zone on the pier, and it's going to be absolutely crazy. I don't even like sports like that. I'm going to be honest. Like, I couldn't tell you a thing. I couldn't tell you a single player's name, if I'm being completely honest. But I love the vibe that goes with sporting events, especially in local DC places. There's also going to be one on the top of Union Market that's going to be really fun, I think. And there's like pickup games and just such fun and cheer. There's like beer gardens and stuff like that you can go to.
Have you been to
watch the game.
Have you been to any of the fan zones yet?
I've been to a few, not the formal ones. I have not been to the one on the National Mall. I have seen lots of photos. It looks nice. It definitely doesn't look too crowded. So if that's like you're down there and you want something to do, I think it's a great option. I'm sure it will get packed out for the final.
Can I just give a tip for anybody who does go? I saw this post on Reddit about the official fan zone. Apparently, they have a very, very tough bag policy to the point where people who brought in anything other than I think it was a clear bag or a fanny pack, if you brought a backpack or a purse, they were basically just making you dump your stuff at security. And a lot of people weren't thrilled about that. So if you are planning on going to the official fan zone for the World Cup, give the bag policy a quick check before you head out.
That's such a good tip. There's also like nowhere around there to like lock up your stuff or drop your stuff off. So yeah, truly, if you like literally just have to go home if you want to keep your stuff, which really sucks. It's the same with the state fair. They like go through literally everything so thoroughly, and you have to have a very strict, bag policy. So maybe not that one.
I'm like you, Kaela. I'm not a big sports person, but I did in Mount Pleasant. They set up a screen and they were doing a kind of unofficial. Yes. Did you make it to that?
Yes, I happened to go by that because I was getting ice cream at Joya Burger. as one does, which is delicious, by the way. And it's such a nice, fun setup. It was just like this it's like this screen in Lamont Plaza, super chill. Like everybody's just kind of out there, like Mark's, cafe. People are like drinking on the sidewalk, like watching the game. You don't have to buy anything. You can just sit in the plaza if you want. People are also like passing around the ball in the plaza. Like there was like a pickup game going on while I was there. Very charming. I really loved that one, honestly.
Yeah, that was probably the first time I have experienced the sort of communal joy of sport. I mean, I have heard tale of it. I know people like it, but I was like, oh, it brings people together. I get it now.
Well, it's often too intense. It's too intense for me most of the time. I'm like, I just don't care enough to be like broing out with these sweaty men in this bar. But like something like that is very much my speed. So what about you, Mike? Is there something that you do every month?
I mean, I say this to people who've moved to DC and people live here. I always love going to concerts at Fort Reno. It is a longtime DC tradition, Mondays and Thursday nights. It was the soundtrack of my adolescence. It's the negative part is it's sort of the same soundtrack a lot of the time, which seems not great. But it's up at the Townleytown Metro Station. It's a very sweet scene. Families, dogs, picnics, ice cream truck, and a place that in a city that had for a time, a very important, quote unquote, music scene. It was a place where a lot of that went down, and it's still going down. So people should go.
I have been to one of the concerts out there, and I don't know if it just was the band that was playing or if this was the usual crowd, but it was, I guess I would describe it as a white guy of a certain age convention. Yeah. It was like a real dad band jamboree in a good way. I mean this is a compliment.
Mm-hmm. I think so that's like when I was like it'd be the equivalent of like when I was 15 going to shows, if it was still run by like at that point like a bunch of like people who were really into doo-wop or something, and it was like, and we kids would have been like, what the hell, like come on, man. And that is the down part in a lot of rock and roll spaces right now.
That's pretty insightful. I feel like there's a version of me that is thinking, when I think about, kids these days, I'm like, oh, what is this? They call this music these days. It's insightful of you to think like, oh yeah, that's just how it goes with aging out of things. And, that's an insightful perspective.
Yeah, doing the math really blows sometimes.
Sometimes people will say things on social media that make you remember that the 90s wasn't 10 years ago. And I always flag it as hate speech when it comes up on Twitter. I'm like, that's not true. Misinformation.
Bridget, I feel like you're so young and hip, though. Like, you're going out to, like, shows probably even more than I am. Like, you're going to the clubs. You're going to you're staying up late. And that's what so I feel like you say this, but I don't really believe it.
Yes, Kaela, continue to spread that gospel. It's true. I am young and hip.
Thank you very much.
I have a bit of good news to share from our sponsors at the DC Department of Behavioral Health. And that is that DC is turning a corner, and the numbers back it up. Fatal opioid overdose dropped 33% in this city from 2023 to 2024. Now, that is not just data. That's real people and real families that are still together. But listen, the work isn't done, and neither are we. If you or someone that you love is struggling, help is closer than you think. Text Live Long DC to 888-811 to connect with treatment, housing, and recovery support right here in the district. Free Narcan is available at nearly 40 locations across DC because nobody should lose someone for lack of access. And if you're in crisis right now, call or text 988. Know your worth, know your alternatives, know your value, know yourself. Recovery is possible. Find out how at knowyourpathdc.com.
Did you know that there's a new charitable tax deduction? This means that you can save money by donating to charity and make your dollar go further by giving back to your community. If half of all DMV married couples who don't itemize fully use this new deduction, we would raise $1 billion for local nonprofits. Spur Local's Everyday Giving Pledge is a simple commitment you can make today to give more and give at least half of your donations to local nonprofits. Visit everydaygivingpledge.org to learn more.
Hi, I'm David Plotz. I'm the CEO of CityCast, a podcast network that includes this show you're listening to, and also 12 other CityCasts in 12 other cities. And each one knows their city as well as your local team knows yours. So isn't it time we connected them? Don't you want to know how they're tackling their bike lane problems and housing challenges and sidewalk dog poop crises? That's why I'm hosting a new podcast called Your City Could Be Better. Because it could be. Every week, I'll chat with a different host in our CityCast network about what their cities are doing right and wrong, the weird things they're trying, and the surprising successes, so that we can all learn how to make our cities a little bit better. Listen to Your City Could Be Better on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, before we go any further, I really hope people become members of CityCast. We are building out a news organization. It's not cheap. We're going to build it in such a way that you're eventually going to need to be a member to get a lot of the scoops and exclusives that we have. That's not the case yet, but we still really want people to join. It's only $10 a month. You get ad-free listening. You get exclusive members events where you can hang out with the likes of me and Bridget and Kaela. You get from Kaela an extra events newsletter every week. So please join.
Folks can sign up at membership.citycast.fm. And Mike, to your point, I have been seeing the stories and scoops that my new CityCast colleagues have been breaking all over the place. I can't tell you how many times somebody has sent something to me and I'm like, oh, this was my colleague Emma, or oh, this was my colleague Ben. It is a great feeling. And I think it goes to show how important it is in this moment that we have local media that are really telling the stories of what's happening in DC. And if you also agree that that's important, please become a member.
Absolutely. Bridget, our team is awesome. Guys, our team is so awesome. And I can see everybody working so incredibly hard and it's really paying off. And so much of that is due to our members and their support and how much they believe in us and show up for us. So if you want to do that and to help us continue to kick ass, honestly, please sign up to be a member. It's $10 a month and $100 a year. And that is basically my matcha budget, if I'm being honest. So
drinking a lot of matcha, girl.
Yeah, okay, whatever, Bridget, whatever. I shouldn't have said that. I'm embarrassed now, okay?
What are you guys eating this month?
Yeah, what are you having with your matcha, Kaela?
All right. Well, let me tell you. Usually I am a restaurant fiend. I would have a restaurant pick for you guys. This month, though, and this tells you a lot, I think, is I'm sending you all to the farmer's market. I am sending you all to the farmer's market because it is tomato season, and everybody knows that tomato season in DC is the absolute best. I will say it is not cheap. Farmer's market heirloom tomatoes will cost you quite a lot. They are much heavier than you think, so be prepared. But there is truly nothing better to me than going to the farmer's market, picking up a tomato, not even putting it in the fridge. It's still warm, slicing it up with some Capri salad situation with some basil, a little bit of mozzarella, salt and pepper. Oh my God. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. So that's what I will be eating this month is a lot of tomatoes. Also maybe some blueberries, also maybe some cherries. Those are also in season, but just eating very seasonally and going to the farmer's market, showing up, supporting local farms and eating really freaking well. So that's, not a restaurant, but it is truly what I will be eating.
Oh, Kaela, as somebody who grew up in Virginia, where we take our tomatoes very seriously, I'm never sure if this is a marketing ploy or not, but have y'all ever heard of Hanover tomatoes? So Hanover tomatoes are tomatoes that are, I guess, supposedly grown in Hanover County, Virginia, and they're really big and really juicy. I've actually heard, and so I grew up thinking, oh, Virginia is the tomato capital of the world. They're so great. Then I talked to a farmer and they hit me to some lore that there's actually no such thing as a Hanover tomato. They're just, when a tomato is particularly good looking, a farmer will say, this is a Hanover tomato. You have to pay extra for this.
That's such a scoop, Bridget.
I had to think back to my childhood and say, was I just falling for clever marketing this entire time, thinking, oh, this is the best tomato in the world because it was grown in Hanover, Virginia.
That's so funny that they're all in on it. It's just a big farmer collusion. That's crazy.
Farmer tomato scam.
Farmer tomato scam. Not a scam. I'll buy it. You know what? I'll buy it. If it's a good tomato, it's a good tomato, you know?
You ever do it with white bread and Hellman's mayo and a little salt?
Oh my God.
It's my favorite thing.
A tomato sandwich. Honestly, probably my favorite food in the entire world is like a BLT with like a big fat tomato, like mostly tomato, a little bit of bacon for the salt, and like a little lettuce. Oh my God. Don't even get me started.
The perfect summer food.
The perfect summer food. All right. So what about you, Bridget? What are you eating this month or drinking?
So I just found out about this thing called the DC Dumpling Fest happening on July 15th. I can't vouch for it, but I'm a fiend for dumplings. And basically how it works is you go through all these different restaurants in Georgetown, and they're all doing their own little spin on dumplings. So it's $49 per person. And basically the thing I love about it is that it's all of these different cultures' version of dumplings. So you can get Chinese soup dumplings at one restaurant, Mexican tamales, you can get Vietnamese pot stickers. I just love how every culture has a dish that is essentially just dough with something inside of it.
Everybody has one. Everybody.
Yeah. So I'm excited to be able to basically do this self-guided pub crawl through Georgetown, but rather than getting beer, being handed different kinds of dumplings.
I feel like there's that saying of like everything is a sandwich if you think about it. And I disagree with that, but I do think there's an argument to be had that everything is a dumpling. Like at the end of the day, there's so many things that can be qualified.
And by that you mean like something that's a vegetable or a protein wrapped in something that's a carbohydrate?
Yes. Basically, yes. Anything that is something wrapped in something else. A pierogi, an empanada, a tamale, like there's just so many different possibilities. So I love this as a concept. Is it one day or is it over the course of several days?
Yes, it is one day, Wednesday, July 15th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And just to be clear, it is a self-guided thing. So you would be taking yourself to all the different participating restaurants, all kind of clustered around Georgetown. And it sounds like just being handed delicious dumplings.
Can you beat that, Mike?
I'm a barbecue lover, and I am typically like a sweet sauce on meat barbecue lover. But I was out with a friend a couple of weeks ago and I had some brisket, Texas style. And it was so good at Wagshall's Grand Bodega, which is an old gas station off MacArthur Boulevard. But I've decided this is going to be my summer of brisket, my summer of Texas style barbecue. So less sweet, more beef. And we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to go to 250 in like about a week.
Have you been before?
I have not.
Oh my God, Mike, it's so good. It's so good.
What should I get?
Well, the brisket, obviously. Mm-hmm. I think they also have a lot of specials. They'll have and collabs with other chefs. So definitely look at their Instagram before you go. And a lot of times they have like, barbecue tamales or like pupusas or something like that. And also don't sleep on the sides. They have a lot of really great sides. I think like the corn, it's kind of like an elote style corn, which is absolutely delicious. Mm-hmm. So those are my tips, but just get a little bit of everything. It is a little bit expensive though. So, Well,
this is the thing of, maybe it's just that meat's become more expensive, but in DC, a place that doesn't really have this culture, instead of it being like the people's food, it's sort of it's like elevated to like this artisanal thing.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, which is probably good for me because otherwise I would like literally be eating that all the time. But yeah, let report back, please. I'm very curious how you like it. I really do think it's the best in DC. I think it's worth the price, but I know that not everybody agrees. So
yeah, I want to follow up on Mike's summer of brisket.
Yeah. On a full journey, a full memoir, if you will.
Well, I will let you guys know when we tape our August guide.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. An update.
Yes. Yeah. You guys will have to wait a whole month for an update.
Meanwhile, have a great July, you guys.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You too.
This has gotten me really excited for what's to come this month.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thanks, Mike. Try to stay cool out there.
Thank you, Kaela.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Bridget.
And that is all for today here on CityCast DC. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with even more news from around the city. Bye.